Hello, Leos. This is your reading for the week of September 22nd, or when you hear it and it resonates, and it won't be for every Leo. It might also be for Sun, Moon, Rising, or anybody who has a lot of Leo in their chart. Now, the first thing that I see is you're holding some cards, and you're saying to your partner who also has cards, do you have any sixes? They say no, and you go fish, and you take one off the pack. So it's a game of go fish. Now, the feeling that I'm getting with this card and the impression that I'm getting as I'm really tuning into this energy is that Spirit is speaking to you about how you can sometimes be within the context of close relationships. So that can be friendships, that can be lovers, but generally it's something where there's some kind of shared emotion, let me put it that way, or shared emotional expression. And that it's that sense that even though you're playing a game with somebody, it's like you're fairly guarded and you're wondering what you're going to be getting out of it. And it's that sense of the game is not to give too much away, right? That's what I'm getting from here. In this particular card game, Go Fish, the game is to not give too many cards away. You're supposed to be gathering cards of a like nature and setting them down in a pack, okay? So you're trying to gather all the fours, all the sixes, all this, and it's a game back and forth. And the essence of this for me is that even though you're playing, what it feels like to me is you're still fairly isolated. So if we were to look at this in terms of relationship, what they're saying is it's that sense that you're not always comfortable in being vulnerable in a relationship. There's often that sense, or at least maybe it's even now in a specific relationship. It won't necessarily be every relationship, but there's that sense that you're kind of playing the game on your own and you're being guarded about what you give away. And that you'd really rather gather than you would give. Now, that may sound very counterintuitive for a lot of Leos because Leos are generally very giving natures. But I'm talking about giving vulnerability. I'm talking about giving up, giving away, letting go some of the things that prevent you from being able to just relax and enjoy a situation or just even watch it and let it unfold. Now that's interesting because two cards have come up, duplicates. They didn't make sense the first time around to me. And I put them back and I actually pulled out a second pack of cards in case I didn't want to pull the same ones again, and I have. So you're getting the isolation card, which is talking about that sense of isolation that we sometimes associate to not being connected with other people or having barriers up against too much of a sense of vulnerability or intimacy. But in fact, really what it's about is not feeling connected to ourselves. It's not having a deeper sense of who we are, where we are therefore able to really be open up and be vulnerable. But then you also get the bubbly card in this, and you get the humor card. And what you're being told here is let yourself stop and check in with whatever it is that is not allowing you to enjoy the game of back and forth where it becomes guarded. It's not, oh, thank you. It is important to understand that they're not saying give all your cards away. That's not what it's about. It's the attitude of slight defensiveness and almost preventative guarding against the possibility of somebody taking too much from you. That sometimes creates a little bit of a juxtaposition between, no, that's not the right word. That creates sometimes a little bit of a gap, a breach, a buffer between you really being able to open up at a deep level without giving things away specifically, but opening up emotionally, really, truly at a deep level at appropriate times. Not just giving it all away, giving the farm away. That's absolutely not appropriate either. That is another sign of having felt disconnected from self and therefore trying to connect to other people too quickly. Okay? So what they're suggesting here, my dears, is this. Have a little bit of humor. Try to be a little bit lighthearted about some of the things. If you can laugh at yourself, Leo, that is one of the best things in the world for you, because you can be very, very serious about the positions that you take in relation to emotional boundaries, breaches, things of that nature. You can be quite rigid sometimes in your reaction to them, in your response to them. And what they're saying is, take a little bit of a light-hearted approach to it. It's meant to be something that, if you can find some kind of fun, some kind of comedy, some kind of mirth in whatever's going on, especially if you can laugh at yourself, then that's going to go a long way to ease you into being more genuinely open with your emotions in an appropriate way. What they are saying is, you could please remember that you get the bubbly card. And in this case, what it feels like to me is they're saying you don't have to put everything all out on a platter and feel as though you are giving everything away, giving away all your cards, showing all your cards, giving away all your information. That's not the way they're suggesting you connect with people. What they are saying is, one of the ways that you can lighten this up and help release some of that sense of maybe isolation and detachment that will sometimes come in as you're getting closer to people, or as difficult issues are coming up with people. What they're saying is, do this. Remember that you have all of these wonderful qualities, and that they are radiating from you, and that they are creating an energy around you that automatically creates cooperation. That energy alone, and that deliberate intention of allowing those good qualities of yourself, even the ones you don't know about, come up and just fill your energy field. It moves beyond a wall, and now it creates a boundary rather than a barrier. It creates an energetic field around you within which you get to be perceived and felt in a positive way, but you also get to perceive. You get to connect with yourself in order to be able to let that happen, which is one of the things that will prevent that sense of isolation. And following through from that, it will prevent your need to either stay away from people and push them away, or to open up too quickly. All right? You're being asked to, whenever you notice yourself going into or anything negative, stop and check in. What is it that's stopping you from being happy in that moment? What sneaky thoughts are coming in that are getting in the way? And just stop and say, okay, what could I think instead? How could I do this differently? Allow yourself to stop and really check in with where your head is and where your heart is. And if it's not causing you to feel good, what can you do? Why are you choosing that? And what can you do differently? Okay? And you're right. Here we've got humor, we've got bubbly, we've got say yes, we've got stop and allow. In terms of positive thought, you've got say yes to everything that is positive. This is really saying to you, Leo, this is a fantastic time for you. Spirit is saying this is a fantastic time for you to overcome any of that rigidity that you've got that is preventing you from being able to really be partnered. And when I say partnered, it can be romantic, but it can also just be in cooperative relationships with the other people in your life. Okay? Relationships where they are balanced, where you're not over giving, where you're not over caretaking, and when you're not feeling offended by the way people are not reciprocating. Because it's very possible, if they're not reciprocating, it may be because you've given them the message. You haven't sent out that nice bubbly field. It may be that they're feeling the walls that you've put up around letting yourself be vulnerable, because being vulnerable also means you being able to accept and ask for help. Okay? You've got the surrender or giving up card. So, and I'm feeling that for some of you Leos, this is about a very specific situation. You're being told, whatever the situation is, to don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, but to use this opportunity, if you can, without hurting yourself or causing distress to yourself, to just kind of surrender into watching what's going on so that you can be aware of what your patterns are that causes you to push people away, or that causes you to suddenly, within what you thought was a close situation and relationship, to suddenly feel isolated. Because that isolation often is coming from your attitude towards it, your perception. So check in. What are you choosing instead of feeling good? What are the thoughts? What are the feelings behind that? And surrender, giving up, loss, or liberation. So for me, there you go. What that's really, really talking about here is by sometimes losing some of your, how can I put this? I'm not even sure what words they want me to use. By losing some of your cards, by giving up some of that that royal decree about what is all right and what is not all right, because it's not just a royal decree, it's something in you, in your mind, that is saying this is safe, this is not safe, this is respectful, this is not respectful, this is like, it's either or, because I'm getting surrender or giving up, loss or liberation, stop and allow. It's like, okay, when I get cards like that come two, like 1 2 1 2 1 2, there's often a sense of almost like a conflict or a contradiction in something for you. So what I'm really getting here is this is a great, great opportunity for you to really look at what are your attitudes, what are your old beliefs that are keeping you from accepting help, from feeling close, feeling seen, feeling accepted and intimate, feeling supported, feeling good about yourself, and feeling connected. And that, my dears, is where you get to really look at what are the old patterns. Maybe you see where it started. Maybe this leads you into inner child work, or maybe it just gives you a chance to say, do I really need that? If it is it about safety? Is it about being loved? Is it about all those things? Do I really believe that anymore? Or is that just habit? And even if it is just habit, even if it is just an old neural loop, can you do it differently? And what would you like? What would you like it to be? Okay? This is where you get to choose. Okay? Take it easy, Leos.